Lucas never pressed the trigger. Instead, he stood alone between 1,276 controlled subjects and the only 3 people who could still stop Project ASTER. Ryan pulled Mina toward the emergency corridor. "We have to go." Behind them, Lucas quietly removed the detonator from his explosive vest. He threw it onto the floor. "I promised Daniel I'd protect innocent people." The first subject reached him, then another, then hundreds more. Lucas raised his hands. "I'm sorry. I won't fight you." Suddenly, every student froze. The hallway lights flickered. A distorted voice echoed through the underground facility. Not the director. Someone else. Older. Weaker. But familiar. "Mina, don't trust the archive." Mina stopped running. Her heart pounded. "Daniel?" Ryan grabbed her arm. "Keep moving." The voice returned, more desperate this time. "The archive doesn't protect memories. It rewrites history." At that exact moment, every screen inside the underground facility turned black. One sentence slowly appeared in glowing white letters. "Archive breach detected." A second message immediately followed. "Unauthorized user inside." Ryan frowned. "What does that mean?" Noah looked toward the sealed vault ahead. His face turned pale. "The archive is already open." Before anyone could react, the giant steel door slowly creaked open by itself. Inside, someone was standing in complete darkness. Only a silhouette. Waiting. Then the security system identified the figure. "Welcome back, Director." Part 1. The archive opens. The steel vault door slowly slid open. No alarms. No flashing lights. Only silence. The dark corridor beyond seemed endless. Mina couldn't move. The message on the security monitor still glowed. "Welcome back, Director." Ryan stepped in front of her. "Stay behind me." Noah tightened his grip on Daniel Carter's flashlight. "What if he's inside?" Dr. Elias Carter slowly shook his head. "If the director were here, we'd already be dead." The 4 cautiously entered the archive. As soon as Mina crossed the doorway, thousands of tiny ceiling lights flickered on. The darkness disappeared. Ryan stopped breathing. The room was enormous. It wasn't just a server room. It was an underground library stretching farther than they could see. Tower after tower of transparent glass columns reached almost to the ceiling. Inside every column floated glowing crystal-like memory drives. Each one carried a name. Each one belonged to someone. Thousands of them. Rows upon rows. Perfectly organized. Noah whispered, "This is impossible." Dr. Carter slowly nodded. "This is every memory Project ASTER ever stole." Mina stepped toward the nearest column. A small display lit up automatically. Subject 014. Age 17. Recovered memories 2014. Below the information, a tiny childhood photograph appeared. A smiling little boy holding his mother's hand. Mina frowned. "He looks happy." Dr. Carter's expression darkened. He was. Ryan looked toward him. "What happened?" Dr. Carter answered quietly. The director believed pain created weakness. So he erased it. He replaced every painful memory with the childhood he thought people deserved. Noah stared at the endless shelves. So every happy memory here, Dr. Carter corrected him. Every real memory. Ryan slowly turned in disbelief. There are thousands. Dr. Carter nodded. And every subject has one. Mina suddenly realized something. If the archive has everyone's memories, then my memories are here too. She looked around frantically. There has to be a file. The silver key in Mina's pocket became warm. She quickly pulled it out. The engraved word, archive, began glowing with a soft blue light. At the far end of the chamber, a single pedestal awakened. Its keyhole emitted the same blue glow. Dr. Carter whispered, "Daniel built that." Ryan looked surprised. He expected Mina to come. He expected this day. Mina slowly approached the pedestal. The closer she came, the stronger the key vibrated. Her hands trembled. Ryan stayed beside her. "You don't have to do this alone." She managed a weak smile. "I know." She inserted the silver key. For 1 second, nothing happened. Then the entire archive came alive. Thousands of memory columns illuminated simultaneously. Blue light flooded the chamber. A calm artificial voice echoed through hidden speakers. Archive authentication complete. Subject 5. The floor beneath them vibrated. In the center of the room, a circular holographic table slowly rose. Above it, thousands of names appeared, each one connected by glowing white lines. Mina recognized several immediately. Lucas Kane, Ryan Carter, Mrs. Evans, Mr. Howard, the principal, hundreds of classmates, every student she had ever known, every teacher, every friend, every stranger, all connected. Ryan stared silently. The entire school was inside ASTER. Dr. Carter quietly corrected him. The school was ASTER. Suddenly, one name began flashing red. Emily Carter. Mina felt her heartbeat stop. The hologram expanded. A profile appeared. Status: deceased. Original subject 5. Below it, another profile slowly emerged. Mina Carter. Status: active. Memory source: Emily Carter. Ryan looked horrified. Mina couldn't breathe. So it's true. Dr. Carter lowered his head. "I'm sorry. You deserved the truth years ago." Before anyone could speak again, the hologram suddenly distorted. Static covered the display. Every light inside the archive flickered violently. The calm system voice changed. It became mechanical, cold, almost threatening. Warning: external access detected. Ryan looked around. Someone hacked the system. Dr. Carter's face turned pale. He slowly stepped backward. The archive has never been connected to the outside. Noah whispered. Then who's accessing it? The answer appeared by itself. Across every holographic screen, one user profile slowly materialized. Current user. Director. Ryan shouted. That's impossible. Dr. Carter stared at the screen in disbelief. It shouldn't be. He doesn't have the key. At that exact moment, a slow clap echoed from somewhere deep inside the archive. One clap, then another. Then another. A familiar voice broke the silence. You're right, Elias. I never needed the key. The lights at the end of the chamber slowly turned on. A lone figure stepped out of the shadows, smiling. The director had been waiting inside the archive all along. Part 2. The Director's Game. The slow applause echoed across the archive. One clap, then another. The director stepped into the blue light, wearing the same immaculate black suit. He smiled as though greeting old friends. Welcome. I've been waiting. Ryan immediately stepped between him and Mina. You planned this. The director nodded. Of course. You were never searching for the archive. I was guiding you to it. Noah stared at him. You let us survive. The director smiled. I needed witnesses. He slowly walked around the glowing holographic table. Truth means nothing unless someone lives to remember it. Mina clenched her fists. You destroyed thousands of lives. The director looked at her calmly. No. I rebuilt them. With a wave of his hand, the hologram changed. The archive disappeared. In its place appeared a recording from 19 years earlier. A younger Dr. Elias Carter stood beside Daniel Carter inside the original ASTER laboratory. Both men looked exhausted. Daniel spoke first. We've lost another child. Elias lowered his head. I know. The director paused the recording. You see? I wasn't the only one making impossible decisions. Ryan glared at him. You manipulated them. The director shrugged. I gave them hope. The recording resumed. Daniel placed a tiny silver memory chip on the table. If we can't save their memories, we save their identities. Elias looked confused. How? Daniel answered quietly. We preserve every original memory. We lock them somewhere no one can alter. Ryan slowly looked around the archive. This place. Dr. Carter nodded. The archive was Daniel's idea. The director smiled. Exactly. And that was his greatest mistake. He pressed another command. The holographic table transformed again. This time, every memory column inside the archive lit up red. A warning spread across every screen. Protocol Genesis initializing. Mina frowned. What is Genesis? The director looked directly into her eyes. The future. The lights dimmed. Thousands of memory files began moving from one server to another. Ryan watched in horror. They're copying the memories.
No.
The director corrected. They're combining them. Dr. Carter's face turned white. You wouldn't. The director interrupted him. I already have. A new figure appeared in the hologram. Not Mina. Not Emily. A completely unfamiliar teenage girl. Her profile flashed. Genesis prototype. The director proudly explained. Emily was the first successful memory transfer. Mina became the second. But Genesis, he smiled, requires no original identity at all. Silence filled the room. Ryan frowned. "What are you talking about?" The director spread his arms. "For centuries, people have been trapped by their past, their pain, their fear, their mistakes. So I ask myself one question. What if humanity could begin again? Without any memories?" Mina stared at him. "You want to erase everyone." The director shook his head. "I want to perfect them." Suddenly, the archive trembled violently. Emergency lights flashed. A mechanical voice echoed. "Memory deletion. 3% complete." Ryan looked at Dr. Carter. "What's happening?" The old scientist answered immediately. "The original memories are disappearing." Noah whispered. "Forever?" Dr. Carter nodded. "If Genesis finishes, every real childhood, every real family, every real identity will be gone." Ryan ran toward the nearest memory column. Inside floated thousands of glowing fragments. Photographs, voices, laughter, birthdays, graduations, simple moments, entire lives. They flickered like dying stars. Ryan slammed his fist against the glass. "There has to be a way." The director calmly watched him. "There is." Everyone turned toward him. He smiled. "Choose." The holographic table divided into two enormous digital pathways. The left side glowed blue. Save Daniel Carter. Estimated survival probability. 82%. The right side glowed white. Save the archive. Estimated memory preservation. 100%. Only one path remained active. The other automatically faded whenever one was selected. Ryan whispered, "Only one." The director nodded. "You cannot save both." Mina's breathing became heavier. "If we rescue Daniel, the memories disappear." Dr. Carter quietly nodded. "If you protect the archive, you may never find him." Suddenly, the entire archive shook again. A deep explosion echoed somewhere above. Dust rained from the ceiling. Ryan immediately recognized the sound. "Lucas?" Another explosion followed. Then another. The director glanced upward. He still refuses to abandon his promise. At that moment, every monitor inside the archive switched to a live camera feed. Lucas stood alone in the core chamber. Behind him, hundreds of controlled subjects continued advancing. He wasn't attacking them. He was desperately holding reinforced security doors closed with all his strength. Blood ran down one arm. His breathing was heavy. Yet he smiled. He looked directly into one of the cameras, as if he somehow knew Mina was watching. Then he quietly spoke. "Choose me." The transmission suddenly cut to black. Only the countdown remained. Genesis activation. 0958. The race against time had truly begun. Part 3, The Genesis File. School Drama Universe. Season 1, The Girl They Tried to Destroy. Episode 9 ending, Emily's Choice 450 words. Silence filled the archive. No one moved. No one even breathed. The teenage girl standing beside the holographic console looked exactly like Mina. The same face. The same dark eyes. even the small scar on her left wrist. Ryan whispered, "Me?" The girl smiled gently. "No. My name is Emily Carter." Mina slowly stepped forward. Her hands trembled. "That's impossible. They said you died." Emily lowered her eyes. "I did." She looked back up, but not completely. Ryan frowned. "What does that mean?" Emily pointed toward the glowing memory servers surrounding the archive. "My body died 19 years ago, but Daniel refused to let me disappear. He preserved my consciousness." Silence. Dr. Elias Carter slowly closed his eyes. "So, it worked." Emily nodded. "Not perfectly. I'm not alive. I'm what's left." The director laughed quietly. "I warned Daniel. You can't preserve a soul." Emily calmly looked at him. "No. But you can preserve a choice." The countdown echoed through the chamber. Genesis activation. Every server in the archive began flashing red. Thousands of memory files continued disappearing. Ryan shouted, "We're out of time." Emily turned toward Mina. "There are still 3 choices." Mina looked at the holographic console. Save Daniel. Save the archive. Activate Genesis. Emily slowly shook her head. There was never a third choice. Ryan frowned. "What?" Emily smiled sadly. "There was always a fourth." She placed her hand on the central console. A hidden command appeared. Its letters glowed gold. Transfer all memories. The entire archive became silent. Even the director's expression changed. "No." Emily looked directly at Mina. "This transfers every original memory into one living mind." Ryan's face turned pale. "One person would remember everything?" Emily nodded. "Every subject. Every family. Every childhood. Every loss. Every lie." Mina whispered, "Who would survive that?" Emily didn't answer immediately. She simply looked into Mina's eyes, then smiled. The director suddenly lunged toward the console. "You don't understand what she'll become." Lucas's voice suddenly echoed through the facility's emergency speakers. "Weak. Broken. But alive." "Don't let him decide." A deafening explosion rocked the core chamber. The lights flickered, then stabilized. Lucas's signal disappeared. Emily gently took Mina's hand. "You don't have much time. If the archive dies, every real memory disappears forever. If Genesis succeeds, the director wins. If you choose Daniel, the subjects lose themselves forever." Mina closed her eyes. Tears rolled down her face. "I don't know what to do." Emily squeezed her hand. "You already do." The countdown reached. Mina stepped toward the glowing console. She slowly raised her shaking hand. Ryan stood beside her. Noah supported Dr. Carter. The director watched in absolute silence. Mina took one final breath. Then, she pressed the gold command. Transfer all memories. For 1 second, nothing happened. Then every memory server inside the archive exploded with brilliant golden light. Thousands of voices echoed through the chamber at once. Children laughing, parents crying, birthday songs, school bells, goodbyes, promises. Every life, every memory, every truth. The system announced one final message. Memory transfer initiated. The light became blinding. Mina screamed. Then everything went white.